So I realized I was just going to have to do my own thing. Hi, I'm Tiff. That's pretty much who I am. You could really use that shot. I'm Tiff. I live in Belleville. This is where my barber shop is. I like it here. I'll be 33 in the fall. That's the things that compile into me. I was into like everything trades in school, and there was a time that I thought I really did like cars, and all my friends worked on cars, and I thought, well, maybe I'll go through for a mechanic. But my dad was not into that, so he said it would be an unsuitable environment for a gentle lady such as myself. So it didn't end up in that. So I found something that paid well enough that I could support myself within that community, which was banking. But I really, it seemed like a grown-up job too, so it made sense, but I didn't like it at all. And then I fell into hairstyling from there. I was walking past the salon, and I walked inside and chatted with some of the people there and the owner, and said I had always had an affinity for hair and been pretty good with it, cut my own hair and my friend's hair all through high school. So I thought, hey, can I just like hang out here, shampoo, sweep the floor, see if this is any good? And that was over a decade ago. That's where I met my mentor. The base of a good haircut is geometry, and my mentor started me on short cuts because there's no room for mistakes. So if you can get the geometry right on a shortcut, you can extend those angles out to any length from the head. And that's how I got on the floor, because a lot of people didn't really want to do the short haircuts where I was working. The transition from hairstyling to barbering came through traveling, I think. I realized when I was in Italy that barbering was really the origin of what I was already doing. You could hear the scissors clicking before you saw these little one-chair shops spilling out onto the cobblestone streets of Venice, and I just loved the vibe pouring out of those places, just full of life, and there seemed to be an intimacy in those spaces that I didn't have in a really huge salon that I was working at. The salon industry really evolved into something that I feel now is predicated on manipulating people's insecurities, and whereas barbering is about maintenance. And so the conversation is different. I convinced my mentor to let me hold some barbering events at one of his downtown locations. And we got a cask of beer and some bourbon and some cigars, and we brought a pool table in and old barber chairs, and it was a big success. People bought their tickets ahead of time, and it was awesome. It was like a little taste of that feeling that I wanted to have, that vibe that I wanted to be a part of barbering. A couple of the shops I worked at, they were very typical masculinity, gender role specific, because they weren't into cutting women's hair, no matter what haircut they wanted. And I ended up cutting a woman's hair in the barber shop, and that's what ended it, because they weren't comfortable with that. So I realized I was just going to have to do my own thing if I wanted it to be as inclusive as I wanted it to be, and I realized I could have that in Belleville. I mean, why Belleville is why anywhere. I have a really strong community here and have fostered relationships with all different types of people, and I think made an impact on the culture already. So as I wanted to move my vision forward, it just made sense to do it here because it was already happening here. And I'm excited to be part of the downtown core having its resurgence. You can really feel an energy shift down here. My buddy 3 years ago opened up a sweet cafe, you might have heard of it. It's called The Break Room. It's pretty dope. So it's across the street from us here at Bay Barbers. And actually, Belleville's awesome. This barbershop is in Belleville, so if this barbershop is awesome, Belleville is awesome. So anyone that wants their hair shorter is welcome at Bay Barbers, as long as you leave your bullshit at the door. It's just shorter hair. That's, it's a great haircut, but it's just shorter hair. So that's what we do. I don't care what junk is in your trunk or if you identify as a cat. I'm just gonna cut your hair.